Abuse of power by law enforcement has been around for a long time. It's been in the back of people's minds for decades, but it was soon brought into the forefront. The term police brutality is a publicly coined term in the early 90s, as it was much easier to record with new technologies. But just because it wasn't talked about doesn't mean it wasn't around, and it wasn't just an American problem either. In 1920, Royal Irish Constabulary officers opened fire on a group of civilians who were watching a football game. 14 people were killed and over 60 were wounded. Although earlier I had said that new technologies made it easier to bring attention to police brutality, it was still a taboo subject to many people. One example of this is the Rodney King incident. King was an African American who had been in a high-speed chase with officers. After being pulled over, he was tased, then beaten 56 times with batons by 4 regular cops and 1 sergeant. You'd think that those cops would get some kind of punishment, but all of them were acquitted of all charges by the Supreme Court. The courts had turned a blind eye, but the citizens had not. This was such a world event that Earthbound, a game created in 1994 by Shigesato Itoi, a Japanese producer in Japan, has reference to it, where the main character, Ness, is attacked by 4 cops and 1 captain, who are unprovoked. More than 10,000 complaints of police abuse in just Chicago during 2002 and 2004. Imagine the whole world today. A survey given to the police by the Police Foundation in May of 2000 showed that over 60% of officers find it not unusual to turn a blind eye to improper conduct. There are many events that are directly related to police brutality in history. The LA riots caused by the previously mentioned Rodney King injustice, and more recently, the Baltimore and Ferguson riots. Noticing a trend? All of these cases had cops abusing someone, being acquitted of all charges, and then resulting in a large public outcry that ended in riots. Police seem to get away with more, especially when you look at the London Summit protests in 2009. The Metropolitan Police's territorial support group kettled citizens and protesters. One of the bystanders was unlawfully killed, and the police group was charged with manslaughter, but found not guilty. After hearing all this, don't you want to do something? There are groups of people who are trying to stop police brutality by trying to ban racist policing, and others try to enforce amendments, such as the 4th Amendment. But something we could all do is spread information. If there is a moment of police brutality, recording it and putting it up on social media can have a big impact. Just look at my previous examples if you want proof. Everyone can help stop police brutality.